11,000 subscribers came and went so fast, and I would like to thank you guys for that, because I don't know, why is this not focusing? Let's go to the other camera. Before we really get into things, I wanted to say that I'm really trying to go hard at the whole Patreon thing. It still won't focus. So basically, I was wondering if you guys, is there something I could offer as a Patreon reward that would make you be like, yeah, let me sign up for that ASAP? Because I've been thinking about it, and I'm not quite sure how I can improve it in that respect, because it's not like I'm offering a product. It's more like, hey, donate if you enjoy my videos. It's like oh my gosh, focus. Oh, it's in manual focus mode. There we go. That'll fix that. It's like me being some sort of street performer on the street with like a hat out there, and it's more of just like, hey, if you enjoyed this, you should donate type deal, rather than mandatory having people pay for it as a product. Does that make sense? Anyways, I saw this video on Twitter a couple weeks ago. I haven't been able to find it since, which is unfortunate. But basically what it showed was these 3D printed dragon scales, and they were printed out of plastic. They were like all foldy and like pretty sick. It was some sort of stylized type of 3D printed fabric, and fantastically, you can in fact 3D print fabric. It's not necessarily fabric as much as chainmail. You have these solid pieces that are like printed together so it can move, and it's like, I think it's really cool. I thought this would make a fantastic video, so I went to Thingiverse. Dragon scales. This is the best one I found. If you look at the model here, what I first thought is that it was printed onto plastic there, and I was like, what? That's not what I'm looking for. Turns out you print it on top of, or like into fabric. It's gonna be really interesting. This thing isn't a concept as much as something that could actually be used. So if you have some sort of cosplay thing that involves scales or some sort of dragon fursuit thing, do it, because it would look awesome. At least that's what I'm thinking. I believe the thing I saw on Twitter was fully printed in plastic, which is a really interesting idea, obviously. For me, at least, it's only as bendable as the plastic. Does that make any sense? Here I have this piece of plastic from a 3D printer. It's a scrap, and if I snapped it like that. This is my 3D printer scrap bag. This used to be just some sort of part of a camera I was making, and it went over there. But what you can see from that is that it can be quite fragile sometimes. If you were to make something like this, it no doubt would be really cool, don't get me wrong. You wouldn't have as much flexibility as you could if the scales were printed onto fabric, which is what this first design I showed you guys will let us do. There is this type of fabric that is almost like a net. The idea is you print a couple layers of these scales, you attach this fabric over what's printed so far, it just continues to print on top of the fabric. And since there's holes in this type of fabric, it like melts through and makes it so the fabric is inside the scales. Does that make sense? Here, probably doesn't make a lot of sense to you when I explain it like that, which is why I have this. That's right, I printed it already. We're gonna print some more of it in a few minutes here, but check this out, okay? These are the bottom layers, okay? And then we put the fabric in and printed over it, and this is what you get. And I mean, it's super bendable. They're a little bit too close together if you want to like bend it a complete 180 degrees, if that makes sense. I think you can see some tears developing in the fabric somewhere. It's a really cool idea that's hopefully getting some of your guys' brains a-flowing, because I think this has a lot of potential. So this did pretty well, although I have to say I messed up the fabric sort of weird, so it didn't like print all of them onto the fabric, which is why we're gonna print it again. One thing you're gonna wanna note here is that because of these overhangs, you know, these scales are printed out like this, you know, there's not any support material under there. You're gonna want to print it at slow speed if you print this yourself. One thing that's funny is I was thinking like, where am I gonna get the fabric to do this on? Because it's like a mesh netting type deal. It's not like normal just felt fabric we'd have laying around. See that right there? That blue stuff? That's literally the fabric I needed, and it was right there, which is really convenient. Why do you look so angry? You're the one who comes in here whenever I film videos, you doofus. Okay, let's go. Check this out. So we're now at a point, it's been like literally an hour later, we're at a point where we have enough of the stuff down there that I think we're gonna be able to do this. We have 13 hours remaining. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna set this down. what I did is I just taped the fabric over here, and we're going to go ahead. I think it's good enough, but okay, not bad, not bad. I'm gonna do some emergency taping. Check this out. Okay, I think this is gonna work. At first, I thought it wasn't secure enough. We go ahead here and take a look at that green thing right there. It says we have 13 hours remaining. Yay! So that means I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay, autofocus mode is enabled this time. That's a good thing. Hey guys, it's me. I'm back 20 some odd hours later. The print itself took about 22 hours to complete. And here's the print. See, check this out, right? Look at this. I mean, now we got 2 of them now. They both turned out fantastic. I mean, I'm intrigued. This totally works. It looks fantastic. It looks really cool when you like bend it around and stuff. I mean, there's not much to say about it, honestly. Like, it worked. Such an interesting concept. I mean, this is one I cut off one of my original prints, and there's still a little bit of fabric there, as you can see. If you look at it, you could still see like the fabric. I can't get it out of the scale. So, pretty cool, honestly. I would totally recommend you trying this out yourself if you have access to a 3D printer. It's totally worth it. I'm sorry, I have all these papers and stuff on here. I have this thing where basically if I'm not filming something, everything goes to heck. Hey, wait a second. Okay, I almost forgot. First thing I gotta say is right here, that's my sister's shoes right there. I did not go full Logan Paul and have a dead body sit across from me at my desk here. What I almost forgot to mention is I'm doing that video in a couple weeks, and I want ideas for it. I'm going to be taking the Fat Paws. I think those are the Fat Paws right there behind the plant bottle. I am going to be doing various things with them and like seeing how easy it is. Does that make sense? Remember the last time where I did the thing with like the mouse and hey people, I want to do a whole video where I do that. So if you have any ideas for things I could try to do, you know, throw it at me. Anyways, past Avery, what was I saying? Also, we got some snails for the thing over here. They're really tiny. Thanks to Vanguard, who donated in that live stream I did the other day. And thanks to my current Patreon subscribers, and past ones as well, but current ones especially, right? Yeah, thanks to you guys. And sorry that my hands are so shaky. That's it for now. Tune in next time, and hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of what I do, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Vimeo also, which is like an alternate video site. You can also find me on Patreon, as I have well established. Sorry if I'm plugging that too much. My moss ball had babies. Do you see that?